Right. Oh, darlings, we have another contender for Sycophant of the Week from Reuters News. Take a seat, why don't you? Michael Holden from Reuters. Such an important publication. We absolutely need to pay attention to that. Pah! Take a seat, Michael. So good to have you, darling. Don't touch any of the crisp, please. Your fingers are quite dirty, given what you're writing. So the reason that Michael Holden of Reuters News gets this, he's also a contender along with Nika this week, is because he writes this really awful article. And you know what really made me pay attention to it? The way in which they centered the king as such a savior of the UK. Listen to the title, darlings. UK turns to King Charles and royals to molly Trump like no others can. So what we get from this first opening strapline from Michael the Sycophant Holden, first we have the Trumps leaning on the UK like some sort of savior. The white savior complex probably stems from there. And then the use of the word molly. Molly means to coddle, to put your arm around, to soothe, such as mollycoddle. So he's trying to give you the impression that the king is a soothing, comforting, important rock that the Trumps can lean on. Very important sycophantic trait. Listen to the language. Once, obviously in the past, head of the largest empire in history. Really? How would you even think about using that as a frame of something to be proud of? The largest empire in history, because presumably you were crushing others. And you certainly didn't talk about what happens with empire, which is usually the whole-scale eradication of communities, resources, culture, and their history, and also their economies. But no, that's not going to feature in your article, is it, Michael? You don't have any critical thinking skills. He then goes on to say, is there any leader anywhere in the world who has quite the same attraction to Donald Trump? How do you know what Mr. Trump's attracted to? And what type of leaders he likes to spend time with? You're giving yourself liberty there, isn't it, Michael? And that's because you're a total sycophant. You're pro-monarchy. You're anti-real history. And of course, the counter voices are never going to feature in your article, are they, darling? No. And so here we have the nub of it. He says back in February, the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, the Granny Harmer, sought to win the approval of the president after his return to office and keep him on side over the war in Ukraine and possible trade tariffs, which actually turned into very much trade tariffs. And it was to the royals Keir turned. Here he's centering the monarchy once again. And in a way, they are here for the national interest. Well, that's the subtext. And obviously, clearly, we can't negotiate without the presence of King Bitter and the side salad chamois lever. And he just uses open flattery to talk about the visit. And I think this is even more interesting given the fact that the ambassador, who would have presumably been present at the visit, can't attend because his best pal, Mr. Epstein, according to the emails, should have fought the conviction for child molestation or whatever it was he was charged with. And he subsequently got sacked. And Bloomberg released more of the emails. And the king, in his hypocritical double standard fashion, will be entertaining also another friend of Mr. Epstein, Mr. Trump. It's a perfect pantomime I can't even find the words to describe. The Doolittle Duchess and the Green-Eyed King will also be playing handmaidens and coat boys for the visit, giving the overall generational seal to hypocrisy, zero integrity, and a complete lack of accountability. But it's business as usual, darlings. And because of the way Michael continues to tell us that the French president was invited on a state visit and that soft power is hard to measure, but its value, we believe, is firmly understood home and abroad. So Michael Holden from Reuters also this week gets Sycophant of the Week for his bum-sucking, brown-nosing article. And like I said, Michael, do your best not to return. You are this week's Sycophant of the Week. Thank you, Michael Holden of Reuters. And the UK turns to King Charles and the royals to mollify the Trump like no others can. That title alone garnered you 16 pies in the face, man. See you next week. not.